Well, we started the week off this week with a bang as the Senate tried to take on this amnesty bill that has been fashioned between the Bush administration and some members of Congress, including some Republicans. There have been some folks who have been standing up against this, and some people have been taking a lot of heat. We've got Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama on the line with us. Senator, how are you?
I'm very good, Phil. Good to be with you.
Good to have you. This thing yesterday, where they were voting to try to strip the amnesty provision from this. First of all, how did you vote on that?
I voted with Senator Vitter, who offered that amendment, and I think we got 29 votes out of the 100, which I don't know whether that's good or bad, but probably doesn't give us too much confidence. But again, it was a vote that it went to the core of what they were promoting.
Well, so we had 29 it was 66 to 29. 25 Republicans voted for a path to citizenship, while they're all out there saying that we don't need to do this, we don't need. There's no way to slice this other than that the so-called path to citizenship, when they do not have to return to their own home country and come back through the gate the right way. I don't care how you slice that. That's amnesty. Would you agree?
I think it is. What I have said, to use something other than just the word amnesty, I've tried to say that I do not believe that someone who entered our country illegally should be given every single benefit as we give those who come legally. And that means to me, on a base, citizenship. And in 1986, we passed the amnesty bill. They admitted it was amnesty then and declared never again would we give amnesty. That was one time and one time only. So I think we need to honor that commitment, be true to it, and just make clear in this year, and this is our opportunity, by this vote, to say never again will anybody who comes in our country in violation of our laws be put on a pathway to citizenship.
I think you're exactly right. And something else, and you correct me if I'm wrong, this $5,000 fine they're going to have to pay is only for people who pursue the path to citizenship. Is that right?
I think that's right.
Okay, so people who don't want to become citizens, who want to get a Z visa and just stay and work, and the Z visa you renew every 4 years for life, you really don't have to do anything. You don't have to go home or anything. You get a probationary card to be able to stay even if you're a head of household. If you're a member of MS-13, all you have to do is sign a little piece of paper renouncing your gang ties, and you get to stay. I mean, this thing is just full of bad law.
Let me tell you, Phil, a group of senators met. They started a framework for developing a new immigration bill. The framework was indeed better than last year. Had some things in it that I think could work. They met, but they had to split the baby. You have Senator Kennedy and other senators who were on the Republican side, and they moderated and they split babies, and they came up with this thing that's going to be, when printed in bill language, 1,000 pages long.
Wow.
And so we started out with last year's bill. It was absolutely a disaster. It should never become law. They reintroduced that. Harry Reid did. He filed cloture on that. And so the first time we saw this 1,000-page bill was Monday night. Officially saw it. Monday night was when they filed it. They put it out.
Right, and they wanted to cut off debate and just vote on it immediately.
Right, so they were going to try to pass it by this Friday, and a group of us pushed back so hard that they've agreed to come back for a week after the recess, but that's certainly not enough time either. We're behind schedule in terms of how many amendments. A number of amendments I sought to bring up today were objected to. They're controlling it tightly, and they're going to try to force this through, and we're going to have a very bad piece of legislation for a whole lot of reasons, and it should not become law, in my opinion.
We're talking with Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama, and something, and correct me again if I'm wrong on all of this, but it seems to me that it would be better to do nothing than it would to do this. And the same thing last year when Bill Frist was trying to push this thing through. It seems that these people think that, well, we need to get some kind of consensus, and we need to compromise. There's some things you don't compromise on, and one of those is allowing people who have broken the law to get here to be able to stay under any circumstance. And you and I, what I think, would certainly agree that there are a lot of these folks who, if they went back to their home countries and came back through the security gate and did it the right way, they would probably be able to come back in and stay. But we don't know who's who. We've got, by the accounts of Homeland Security since 2001, they've arrested something like 90,000 people, illegal aliens, who have come from states that we have identified as terrorist states, and they let 45,000 of them go, OTMs, let them go back into the countryside of America because we didn't have any place to keep them. So we know there are at least 45,000 people who are here from terrorist-sponsored states, and then we sit there and say, well, we're going to work on a path to citizenship? Everybody needs to leave.
I think that's correct. I think we could create a temporary legalization certificate, but we've got to watch what all that means. For example, under the bill, even this Z visa that they give persons would entitle them to all federal benefits,
which is crazy,
including the earned income tax credit, which would cost almost $20 billion over the next 10 years in just earned income tax checks, which are really low welfare type checks. They're mean-tested tax refund payments, so really a check from the government, and that's coming out as a huge cost. So we're going to have some large cost when persons are, even if they get a temporary visa.
Yeah, and the agricultural workers, my understanding is, they'll get free legal representation. I'm thinking, Jeff, when this is all said and done, if this actually passes, I'm going to apply for amnesty. I mean, I think I may be better off than I am now.
Stirring up so much trouble.
So it seems to me, and this is something we've talked about on this show for a couple of years. We came out a couple of years ago with a comprehensive solution to this problem, which we call demagnetize America. And I want to run this by you and see what you think of it. Okay. Under my theory, we have created a magnet that has attracted all these people. If we were to demagnetize the country, in other words, we cut off the magnet, and the two big magnets are the jobs and the benefits.
Right.
And if we had a $20,000 fine for employers who hired illegal immigrants for the first offense, and the second offense, and this would have to be done through the states because they can control the labor laws if the federal government says they can, and I believe constitutionally they can. $20,000 fine per illegal alien for the first offense, and the second offense, you take away their business license. On the end of the government benefits, it's a $20,000 fine if anybody knowingly gives a benefit to an illegal alien and you're instantly fired. Then we would see the magnet go away, and we would see these people go back where they came from, take the path of least resistance, and go home.
That has a lot of merit to it, Phil, and let me tell you, I said that last year and this year. The first thing you do with somebody who came here illegally, even if you are not able to send a person out to arrest them and deport them, the first thing you do is quit giving them benefits.
Right.
So this is a big part of it. Now, the workplace enforcement mechanism in the bill is a big step forward, but it's critical that it be done exactly correctly or it will fail again.
Yeah.
And that requires a identifying card from each worker that's not a citizen, that has a biometric identifier, which really needs to be the fingerprints because you can check their criminal histories that way. And then we need to be firm with employers with prosecutions and fines if they hire somebody who didn't present such a card. And if they present some sort of fake one, they need to be prosecuted for fraud.
Right. So why don't we do these individually, though?
We are not. My own best judgment is that this could work, but I still doubt that there's a commitment on this particular aspect of enforcement that you would need to be successful.
Well, look, all we're hoping for you to do, Senator, is to keep this thing in neutral. As long as they don't kick in some kind of an amnesty program, then I think the states and the municipalities like Hazleton, Pennsylvania, Farmers Branch, Texas, will be able to handle this on their own and demagnetize one city and one state at a time. But we appreciate your time very much.
Thank you. You know, we don't. People are not angry with immigrants. They believe in immigrants.
Right, absolutely.
They don't hate immigrants.
Just want them to come.
What they're mad about, if you want to know the truth, Phil, they're mad at us.
That's right. That's exactly
We
right.
have not responded. We've not created a lawful system, and they've been asking for it. The people have for decades, and it's time for something to be done.
Absolutely. Senator Jeff Sessions from Alabama, appreciate your time very much.
Thank you.